Network and stations around Australia proudly present the Mike Walsh Show. The star of our show, Mike Walsh.
Stop too much of that and I'll start to think I'm Mike Walsh. Look, I'm coming up for the first time ever in my life with opening remarks that I hope you don't laugh at, because sadly tonight is the end of the current series of Mike Walsh shows, and I'd just like to explain to you what happened. Last Monday week I was told that the show would definitely be coming off, and then in the last fortnight, of course, we had a solid 2-year contract for the show, so naturally there's been an awful lot of paperwork, a lot of lawyers have made a lot of money, and the whole thing was finally resolved this morning. Fortunately, I was able to tell my staff today, before the papers got the story, exactly the situation. There's been a lot of speculation, but I was able to tell the staff first. And Channel 9 have kept the press at bay so that I could tell you all myself tonight and have some dignity about the whole thing. It's hard to take a decision like this, especially when you're committed yourself to something, but I've had to be a bit philosophical, as we all have to be, about the meaning of life. And TV is very cyclical. Mike Willesee rang me tonight and said, "Sorry, mate, sorry to hear the bad news." And I said, "Oh, well, Mike, it's a bit like that. This year they're taking off all the variety shows. 6 years ago they took off all the current affairs shows." He said, "Oh, God, don't tell me that." But that's how we have to live in this business. Economics are a part of it, but we've had a lot of success with this show. I don't think people realise quite how successful it has been. It's been the most widely syndicated variety show ever in this country, by over double. And although we haven't always won the ratings, we've put up a pretty good show, and we've had some pretty bloody big movies and miniseries thrown against us to wham us, so that's a compliment in itself. We've had a wonderful association here, and we look forward to continuing. We're still going to produce the midday show for the network. I personally am available for bar mitzvahs, weddings. The next time you go to a Hayden Theatre, don't kick the usher in the shins, it might be me. And I'm bloody dangerous with a torch, I can tell you. But I am a showman, and I pride myself on being a performer, so I'm not going to wallow in misery or self-pity. We're not going to go on a nostalgic trip tonight. I believe in being current, and it's a very current show. And what better way to open it with this sort of really 1985 variety? You ain't seen nothing yet, folks. Here's Rhonda Birchmore, the Tony Bartuccio dancers, and a big production number. Yeah!
My daddy wouldn't do for kicks. Never done a thing worthwhile. Evil woman, child. Devil's got you loose on the lock and key. Ever to set you free. Signed, sealed, and witnessed on the day you were born. No use trying to fake him out. No use trying to make him out. What you gonna do? I lose seven evil. Honey, why you feel all night? Your head's all messed up down the clothes you wear just don't fit you right, no. Your daddy goes the money went, dressing you up in style, evil woman child. Oh, Lucy, you're so damn bad.
Oh, isn't that sad? Poor Rhonda, look. Oh, I think that's so sad. Look at poor old Rhonda. Wouldn't you think on the last show she could have got a nice dress instead of one with all rips in it? Look at it. Poor old Rhonda, all ripped to bits. Thanks, Rhonda. That was a great opening. And I'd like you to thank the Tony Bartuccio dancers. And if he's there, the man himself, Mr. Tony Bartuccio. Hey! And all right, his dance captain and the game. Now, Tony, this is our last chance to get the plugs in for our own little businesses, my boy. So would you like to mention the Tony Bartuccio organisation?
Yes, I've got a few things I'd like to mention. Well, of course,
Go, Tony, go!
there's the Tony Bartuccio dancewear that you can purchase through Wholeproof. Of course, then there's the Tony Bartuccio Spectacular that's up at the Gold Coast at the Paradise Centre. But last but not least, there's the Tony Bartuccio Dance Centre
Yes.
in downtown Paran, Melbourne, where I'll be teaching personally.
Tony, thank you. And that's the spirit of people in this business that makes you love it. Despite the ups and downs, they really are born survivors, aren't they? And Tony, you have revolutionised dance in this country, and you've given television a totally different dimension. And for all your work over all the years, from me personally, a great big thank you. Thank you, kids. As you'll probably realise, there's an awful lot of talent behind a show like this. Now, tonight's show has some great people and some great variety to come. Jeffrey Archer, who's the best-selling author of Cain and Abel, amongst many other things, and a wonderfully witty man as a guest tonight. We're going to meet some of those amazing American gridiron players. You know, the ones with the shoulders like Joan Crawford? Yeah. And we're going to talk to the always perceptive Malcolm Fraser, who's always worth a good stir or two. It's a delightful party over there. The legendary Woody Herman and his all-stars are on the show. And after this break, we welcome the very funny Vince Sorrenti. Back in a moment. Now, a couple of weeks back, we introduced you a new comedian who made a huge impact on the show. And in fact, I said to the producer, let's book him for the rest of the year. Well, in effect, we have, because he's back with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Punch Bowl's favourite son, Vince Sorrenti.
Gentlemen, my name's Vince. I'm from Punch Bowl's. A picture of me as a baby right here. And I was a caesarean birth. I always leave the house through the window. Trying to get a drink of water here, ladies and gentlemen, but I think they're a bit funny around here, you know what I mean? They put a bloody straw in it. How am I supposed to act rugged and macho when there is a bloody straw in the bloody drink? When I walk up to a bird, I want to act really cool. I go, "G'day, baby." How's it about come back to my place and we get it on? Quick impression for you, ladies and gentlemen. Twisted Sister. What are you going to do with it? You had to be there. Any skiers in tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Any skiers here tonight? Anyone watch the downhill ski racing when it's on? Gee, that's boring stuff. I can't imagine why anyone would go to watch that live. I mean, what's there to see, you know? You climb to the top of some mountain in Austria, stand on a grade like that for 3.5 hours, right? You've got 40-pound boots on each foot, there's 20 below zero, there's 2,000 people trying to see, and what do you see? Oh, that's good? Yeah, good! Downhill racing. And I hate those furry, like, boots that the girls wear. You know, look like they stuck their feet up two dogs' asses. There's a baby in there, ladies and gentlemen. I was just thinking, any sport lovers in tonight? Oh, I love sport, ladies and gentlemen. My favourite sport is a game that was invented at about 500 BC and has gradually become more violent. Rugby league! Rugby bloody league! Ah! Woman! Want woman! Now! He didn't mean to hit him physically in terms of a punch. Rugby league. And the toughest, hardest man, ladies and gentlemen, ever to play rugby league was a bloke called Thump Anvil. A grade for punch bowl, ladies and gentlemen. 18.5 stone of prime Australian beef, most of which was above the bloody neck. Thump, he was a hard man, Thump. Thump used to ski uphill. He was also very, very stupid, ladies and gentlemen. He took them all by surprise, Thump. Even while he was being born, he came up the blind side while no one was looking. Anvil. He used to eat pig iron. He farted in a scrum once and shot the referee. He was a hard man. He once played a whole season in first grade dead! He was hard. I was with Thump Anvil one day. He was going to buy a new tow bar for his Merc Ute. Walked into this automotive parts place, picks out a tow bar. The guy said, "You want me to wrap it up for you, Thump? I'll eat it here." Thump. What do you think of the car, ladies and gentlemen, eh? Unbelievable. I seen it, I hear it, but I don't believe it. You believe it? You believe it? I don't believe it. I'm sitting at home the other day. My son write a letter. She write, "Dear baby Jesus, if I'm a good boy for 3 months, will you send me a BMX bike?" No. Dear baby Jesus, if I'm a good boy for 1 month, will you send me a BMX bike? No. Dear baby Jesus, if I'm a good boy for 1 week, will you send me a BMX bike? No. Then she go to the shelf, get the statue of the Madonna, put him in the cupboard and write, "Dear baby Jesus, if you ever want to see your mama again..." Unbelievable. When I'm at home, I like to break wind. I sit. No problem. Sometime my wife come in. He look at me and said, "Look, hear the smell." I seen it, I hear it, but... Thanks very much and see you later, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, dear. You've done for Punch Bowl what Barry Humphries did for Moody Ponds, I think. Just explain for people interstate what Punch Bowl is, the state of the art of Punch Bowl.
Well, not the end of the world, Mike, but you can see it from there, I think, Punch Bowl. All bad roads lead to Punch Bowl. It's the centre of the world, I think.
Yeah.
It's a very working class suburban part of Australia, I think. It's sort of a new Australia. It sort of has a lot of migrants in there, but they're very Australian. There's Lebanese, Greeks, Italians, but they drive Commodores and mow the lawn on Sunday, you know.
Yeah.
They go down the pub, "G'day, Abdul, give us a couple of souvlaki with sauce and a schooner of booze, mate." It's very sort of...
But they're getting there. They're on
They
the way
certainly
to...
are, yeah.
Where did the term unbelievable come from?
Unbelievable. Well, most of my material is sort of relates to my life, and unbelievable is sort of about my parents and my relatives. It's about the way they talk, the way they get things mixed up. Like, for example, my mum will be on the dark, not in the dark, and every time someone says Nazi, she goes, Nazis? What Nazis? She'll have, she'll go to the supermarket, right? She'll come and says, I've been to the supermarket. I'm coming out to check out point. The lady, he shortchanged me 2 cents. 2 bloody cents. I forgive, but I never forget.
That,
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. That car of yours, Vince, I've been trying to think of words to describe of it, and yes, unbelievable is about all I can come up with.
That's what you can come up with, I think.
It's,
Well, it's probably the Al Grasby of motor cars.
that'd probably sum it up, wouldn't it? Yes.
But it's got everything, mate. Look
Has
at it. It's beautiful. Twin foxtails.
The 2 padded dice on the... on the
standard.
wheels,
Mandatory.
It's, mandatory.
Lime green furry steering wheel cover. Nativity scene, pom-poms. Mike, you got to buy it. I'll tell you what. I'll swap you for the Merc. I'll swap you for the Merc, Mike. And
You
tell you
mean-
what, because I feel good, I'll throw in a Vince Sorrenti mask, right? Just so they won't recognise you.
Oh, a very quiet fortnight, wouldn't I? Yeah, driving around. I think we might have a deal. Have we got
Just
a
do
deal?
business with me, Mike. I'm up the punch bowl road at Punch Bowl, and let me stick it right up. Yeah!
First offer I've had in a long while. Now, what I'd like to get to is this film clip we have.
Oh, that's what the car was built for, actually. That was
the car was built for the
clip,
film
yeah.
clip. So just tell people about the film clip.
Well, the film clip features a lot of relatives of mine, and it's sort of a narrative.
These people are really your reals.
Oh yeah, they're all my reels.
They are.
My uncle Lou built the car, and there's my uncle Joe is in a couple of scenes in the clip, and all of my relatives are in it. About 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Just a small, close section of this well-knit family. Let's have a look.
After dinner, I like to go down to the club with all the boys. Everybody is there, even my uncle, William the Concreter. I said, how you doing, mate? I came, I saw, I concreted. Come on, bring some beer. We drink, more beer. Drink, get some more bloody beer here. Drink, more beer for the boys. Drink, I love beer, more beer. Drink, get some more bloody beer here. Drink, more beer. Drink. Then I drive home. I get in my car, no problem. I drive, bloody problem.
Very good. Very good. That's lovely. That's lovely. Now, that's a film clip which promotes your record, and you've got an
That's
LP
right.
record and also the 7-inch off
This
it
is
too.
the 7-inch, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
With a picture of me as a baby on the back.
I love the way you always show a picture of yourself as a baby. Is that
That's cute.
is that one of the traits of your race?
so.
Is it? Yes. To
Yeah.
keep doing that. What's next for you?
Well, I've got a dancing record coming out. It's a very contemporary modern dance song. It's called Dancing Never Come Fat. And that'll be out in a couple of weeks. And I'm the host of the new video comedy
I'm still
show.
trying to work that one out. Is it?
Maybe
Oh, you got a television show?
Yeah, on the ABC.
Lucky owl, you.
And thank my guest, Mr. Mike Walsh, ladies and gentlemen.
Get used to all that. No, you won't be seeing me as a guest on anyone's show, I can tell you.
Well,
Listen,
that starts up in November, the comedy video show, and I'm
Good.
writing a book called Europe on $5,000 a day.
well, listen. Have I got a bargain for you? Well, listen, I'll put on my other hat now as head of production for Hayden Productions. Can we have you on the midday show with Ray Martin?
I would be delighted.
Between here and
let me
November?
just say, I've really enjoyed being on the show, and thank you very much for the opportunity of coming on.
Yes, the
It's been
ratings
great.
started to slip the night you came on. Oh. I just thought I'd really nailed the coffee completely. Unbelievable. Vince Sorrenti, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thanks, son. We'll take a break. In a moment, Malcolm Fraser. It's been 2.5 years since the Liberal Party lost office and Malcolm Fraser retired from federal politics. Now, he may have left the Parliament, but as Australia's second longest serving Prime Minister ever, he certainly has not lost interest in the affairs of government. Would you give a big welcome indeed to Mr. Malcolm Fraser? I say?
Well, look, you've got some American footballers up there.
I
you
have
see.
indeed, yes, yes.
And I just pinched some of their dress. This might have done me some good when I was a politician, but now I think Bob Hawke better order a set for the next election.
Well done. Well, that's wonderful.
They want it back, by the way.
They want it back, yes. See, I always knew they had their shoulders padded. I've got to, first of all, a couple of things. One is I want to congratulate you. You've become a granddad.
Yes, and Tammy's a grandmother.
And Tammy's a grandmother. How's she finding that? That's an amazing coincidence, isn't it? At the same time.
Well, I confused some American friends of mine a month or so ago by saying at the end of July I was going to be married to a grandmother. No, I am.
There you are, yes. So you told the truth, you just misled them slightly.
No, I didn't mislead them. They just misunderstood me.
Yes, exactly. And, of course, Anna used to work for us
That's
as
right.
a DA. So, Anna, all the very best. Congratulations.
She's in great form.
And Mark, it's lovely. And the girl's name, the little girl?
Carmen.
Carmen. I've got to ask you, you had 28 years in Parliament, and then suddenly you faced a situation that is one that I find myself in now, involuntary retirement.
Well, why didn't you join Fraser Associates?
That's the first offer I've had since this morning.
Well, sleep on it.
Yeah.
I'll give you till breakfast time to sign up.
You sound like a wheeler dealer to me. But what was it like when, after all that incredible pressure? Because I remember saying to you when I saw you some 12 months later, I can't believe how well you look. Because, you know, and you just look so much better after you got out of it. Did you realise when you'd finished, I mean, it must have been an emptiness for a while, but then a feeling of relief in a way?
Well, there's so much, you know, the pressure's there all the time. And if
24 hours a day.
Things aren't going all that well. You're concerned about what happens to Australia. And, you know, I know Bob Hawke could make it rain, but I didn't seem to have the right kind of links up above. And well, it did 1 week after the election.
Yes, I know.
And
That was a clever stunt.
Yes, but it would have been better if he'd told them he was going to do that. He would have had a bigger majority there, you see.
All right.
But, you know, if things are going not well, you obviously are concerned for Australia because that is affecting a great many individuals. We got caught in a bit of a grind, I think, but it just goes, you know, the work goes on and it's there all the time, and you can't really escape from it. There's no way you can possibly have a holiday in Australia because I can remember one occasion Tammy and I thought we'd take a houseboat on Eildon, and nobody'd find us in a houseboat on Eildon. But then Sir Charles Court decided to do something or not to do something in relation to some mining at a place called, I think, Nunkambar. And then there are the possibilities of a general strike and, you know. So Tammy sat in the houseboat by herself and caught a fish. Well, I flew back to Canberra with my fishing rod.
And caught a hell of a beating when you got there over the whole thing. But as you say, the Labor Party did start off with the dream run, didn't it? As you quite rightly said, Bob organised the end of the drought, although there's another one now, which is a bit of a worry for him. And we won the America's Cup. And the prices and income policy seem to work quite well. How do you feel about this tax summit? And I suppose now that I'm making my last appearance in this show, I can probably editorialise a little, but I, as a businessman, have found it the most disruptive thing over the last 3 months. No one knows whether they're Arthur or Martha, up who or down who, or what they're paying, and everything's in a state of confusion.
Yes,
do you think
it
that
is.
sort of public debate really gets anywhere, or do you think Australians would like to say to a government, look, would you bloody well get on with this and let us get on with living?
Well, I think there are some things governments have just got to quietly make up their mind what's right. And then they'll have to do it, and then they've got to argue it. But if you try and say at a tax summit, look, this is what we'd like to do, everyone who doesn't like what they want to do comes out and says how awful it is. And maybe it is awful, but nobody's going to come out and say new taxes are good.
No.
I mean, all taxes are bad, I believe, as a taxpayer. And
You've changed your tune.
no, I always believe all taxes are bad.
Didn't always say it.
Well, it wouldn't have been politics. But it's government expenditure that's bad. And if there wasn't any government expenditure, there wouldn't have to be government taxes.
But there is certain government expenditure that's patently obvious, isn't there, like roads and services and administration and all that sort
Yes,
of thing?
there are quite a few things that do have to be done, but we have more public servants for our population than almost any other country.
Really?
Yes, we do. Nearly every Australian private enterprise taxpayer, that is, somebody not paid by the government, is also paying for somebody whom the government pays. So, you know, everyone here and everyone listing, everyone out in the country is not paid by the government through his taxes, is contributing to the employment of one other person.
Do you go along with the theory that we just have to live with the fact that in this day and age and from here on henceforth we'll have to live with the fact that there's always going to be a large percentage of unemployed because we can't manufacture anymore, etc., etc., etc.?
No, I don't. I think...
Do you think that's defeatist?
I think we've been too defeatist in Australia. I really do. If you take Singapore or Switzerland or Japan, these are countries that have got no natural resources. In Australia, people think you shear a sheep, you dig up some coal, and everyone can have a good standard of living. But in countries like Japan, Switzerland, and Singapore, their national leaders get up and say, look, if you don't work hard, you've got nothing. There are no natural resources except the talents of our own people. If you don't use your minds and your imaginations and put that to good, productive use, we've got nothing as a nation. And as a result, you've got Switzerland right at the top of the heap. You've got Singapore and Japan climbing very rapidly. And Australians are going to have to adopt some part of that attitude because the standard of life that we're all enjoying today is being subsidized by borrowing 11 or 12 or 13 billion dollars every year. I mean, we're all living collectively beyond our means as a nation. And somebody ought to be getting up and saying this. And, I mean, if it's said, I think we all understand it can't go on. We can't go on piling up debts to every other country around the world, which is what we are doing right now.
But Australians are pretty sensible, aren't they? I mean, I always think that when they get into that election box, they make very few mistakes. I mean, you would find that hard to agree with at the moment, but
I think that...
well, look at the swing back.
I think they're 75% right, which is high marks, because
Yes.
I fought 4 elections, won 3 and lost 1. So
I feel this is a very
75%
subjective conversation.
right.
But, what I'm saying is they do give governments a clear and alert warning that they have not been happy with the way things perform. And this
Yes,
happened
they
with
do.
Andrew Peacock in the last election, where although the Hawke government got back in and comfortably, it was nothing like the Camelot days they'd had before. And
No,
that
but-
seemed to be a message.
But they thought they were going to increase their majority. Andrew had had so much adverse publicity through the year. And then he finds that, or the Prime Minister finds, that his majority is halved.
Well, how did he turn it around? How did he become so successful when every pundit said he didn't have a chance? And I don't think you particularly felt he was all
No,
that strong.
I thought that the Liberal Party and Andrew were going to be in for a bit of a beating.
Yeah.
He did much better than I expected. Well, he stuck to his last. It was a very long election. He stuck to his last, in spite of all the very rough criticism. He didn't, do his block, lose his cool. He maintained his dignity. He put his points with, in electoral terms, with a degree of moderation, but he kept on putting them. And, that paid through in the end. And I think the Prime Minister made a number of mistakes. I think, there was a bad tax argument, and he got rid of that by saying, well, he'd have a tax summit, which later turned out to be I think in non-partisan terms, a bit of a disaster. So, the government made mistakes. The opposition didn't make mistakes during the election.
So they started to look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started to look good. We were just working it out before. You're a year younger than Bob Hawke, which I think
No,
is
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
But a child.
That's the most partisan comment I've made about him, I think, in the last couple of years.
Well, you're 2 years younger than Bob, and you're 21 years younger than President Reagan.
Only 21?
Only 21. That's the bad news. The bad news, I'm afraid. But what this amounts to, I mean, I know Tammy said that she couldn't wait for you to leave the Prime Ministership and everything else, but you obviously have, you're in good shape, and I mean...
Never better.
Never better, right. And you seem very relaxed and more detached about things, which is good. I think it's been very good for you. But would you rule out the possibility of returning to politics at some stage? In the next 21 years?
Not in the next 21 years. And
Really?
18 or 19-year-old will be the dangerous time.
When you're 18 or 19 year older?
Well, 18 or 19 years on from now.
Yeah.
That'll be the dangerous time.
You reckon you get the taste again then, do you?
Well, I might when I'm about 69, 70. Maybe 70, 71.
Well, you better talk to your doctor and make sure you're in good shape. What are your plans for the future as they stand?
Well, the next 3 months I'm doing something which I'm very much in two minds about, because Tammy and I are going over to Harvard to the Graduate School of International Affairs, and they've been up me for the last year to go over, and in the end I said, well, I can't spend a year there. I just don't want to spend a year out of Australia, but I'll spend one term, which is 3.5 months, and back by Christmas. I said, what do you want me to do? And they said, well, you can talk about the past. I said, no, I'm bored with that.
Yeah.
And said, well, it's up to you. And anyway, that will be taking up to the end of the year. I spend more time fishing, more time on the farm. I've started an international consultancy business, which most Australians don't know about because it deals with Americans or Asians more than anyone else. I'm still in an aeroplane too much because of that particular consultancy business. But there are a lot of interesting things to do. And also, I'm a radio disc jockey.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about that. I think you've crossed the demarcation line there. Some of us
The
have
ABC's
been
in trouble, by the way.
They're looking for people?
No, I warned them. I warned them I should join the union before I did it. And I wasn't a union member.
No, right.
No, so I'm told they're all going out on strike.
As a result of you. Well, you're still in there fighting by the sound of it. Listen, lovely to catch up with you. Thanks for being with us tonight. Malcolm Fraser, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Malcolm. Good fortune. Thank you. Thank you. We'll take a break.
I better take that.
Yes, you better return that.
He wants to put it on.
He wants to put it on, right, so you return it. We'll be back in a moment. We've got some more music, some more plugs and some more thank yous coming your way on The Mike Walsh Show. Now, shortly, as Mr. Fraser showed you, we'll be taking a look at American gridiron football. Why am I laughing? So here's a couple of versions of what we thought the game was all about.
Height 42, 63, 17.
Bingo!
We first saw my next guest on Star Search, the show that Greg Evans does on Channel 10 and does so very, very well. And although it's on in many cities, it's not a totally national show as this one was, 132 stations. Only beaten by the midday show, another Hayden production with 144 stations. And people who always like me will probably hate me after tonight. Isn't it wonderful? Leave them hating it. All right, now, anyway, we did see this fella on Star Search, and he's very, very good. And it's nice to have him on the show tonight. Robbie Krupski and the song Against All Odds. Let's hear it for Robbie.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. When I stand here taking every breath with you, you're the only one who really knew me at all. How can you just walk away from me when all I can do is watch you leave? 'Cause we've shared the laughter and the pain, we've even shared the tears. You're the only one who really knew me at all. So take a look at me now. It's just an empty space. There's nothing left here to remind me. Just the memory of your face. Take a I just could make you turn around and see me cry. So much I need to say to you, so many reasons why. You're the only one who never really knew me at all. So take a look at me now. It's just an empty space, and there's nothing left there to remind me. It's the memory of your face. Take a look at me now. There's just an empty space. Wait for you is all I can do, and that's what I've got to face. Take a look at me now. I'll still be standing here. You coming back to me is against all odds, and that's what I've got to face. Take a look at me now.
He really has it, hasn't he? Robbie Krupski. Thank you, Robbie. Lovely to have you with us. And great luck for your career, which I'm sure will be a big one. I'd like to take this opportunity to do a few thank yous and also a few free plugs. I think, why not? And first of all, I'd like you to give a big thank you to Jeff Harvey and his show band. They've been magnificent. Stand up, Lord. Thank you, Mike. Jeff, I've worked with you for, what is it, 8 or 9 years now? 9 years?
In this run, yeah, about 9
on this run, yes, 9 years on this run, and I just want to say thank you very much for being a great colleague, an absolute bloody clown at times, and very, very funny with your ferrets and everything else. He's not well, is he? And also for being such an outstanding musician and such a good support for the show and lining up a band that's absolutely unbeatable. And I just want to thank you for raising the standard of music on Australian television to the extent you have. Thanks, mate.
You just, you just took the speech I was going to make right out of my mouth then. I'd like to thank you on behalf of this lot here, the arrangers, the copiers, and the singers and all us lot, on this particular show, and I've been around for a long time, as I can say it, here since 1960-odd. This is the very best band that we could possibly get together, and I'd like to thank you for having the expertise of saying, yes, we can have it. And thank you very much, and from all of us, I think a round of applause, lads, yes. Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Mike Walsh. Thank you.
Well, I'd just like to get in a few
We're
plugs.
available for weddings and things
You
like
are?
that.
That's right, it's free plugs available for weddings, bar mitzvahs and bucks nights. No, it's a beautiful band, and I hope you can keep it together. I'm going to do a few plugs, and if you live in the Riverlands or the Blue Mountains, New KA is your radio station. Yes. 1480 in the Riverlands, 780 in the Blue Mountains, 3030 Music, a wonderful station. Some spots still available, midnight to dawn. The Hayden Theatre Group, currently expanding. We have out there, I'm not going to stop, am I? At Richmond and Penrith, all screens are flat out with wonderful films like the brand new Mad Max film and Rambo and Desperately Seeking Susan. Do phone now and book for the weekend. You'd hate to miss out. The money. And soon we have the Avalon Cinema opening up. It's still being run by Arnold and Joan Spry, who are lovely people, but after the school holidays, we'll be closing it down for a while and giving it a good old whammo and opening up in big style in about October. And Mike Williams...
I've got a new job, actually, Mike. It's been confirmed...
You're going to be my neighbour at Avalon, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. Actually, we'll have theatre. Don't forget Mike's Seafoods, of course. Mike's Seafoods at Avalon. That's the best seafood you can get. And Avalon is a beautiful little place. It really is. By the way, my next job has been confirmed 10 minutes ago.
What is it?
You'll be happy to know I'm giving guided tours through your wallet. Mate, after the next 2 weeks of fixing everybody, mate, there's going to be nothing left. But anyway,
You're right.
thank you very much,
Well,
by
there's
the
so
way.
many,
I've had a ball.
so many
Very
contracts to pay out. I've never done more paperwork. Lawyers,
know.
if you've got a son that's a bit of a dope or a genius, make him a lawyer. Lawyers, no, they've got the best. They've got the game tied up. You know what lawyers do? They make other lawyers wealthy. And then your lawyer does that to their lawyer, and they all pay one another. And the poor client says, how are we going with all this? Oh, we're still having meetings and a lot of litigation. I haven't had a very good one, but boy, that's the one to go into.
Anyway, thanks, mate. This is my 12 and a half years.
12 and a half
with
years,
you.
yes.
Been
That's
12 and a half of the best years,
Yep.
and thank you. It's been
Thank you.
terrific.
And
Really
great
nice.
luck with your career.
Thank you.
No, I don't want to get into all that at this stage,
No,
but also
quick.
we're doing plugs at the moment,
Yeah.
and
Williams.
also our good
Mike
friends
Seafoods, don't
Tony
forget.
Lamond and
Big
Tony
crabs.
Sheldon are starring in Madonna and Child, which is an excellent show. And if you want to know what show business is all about, that's the one at the Off-Broadway Theatre here in Sydney for only another week or so. It's a knockout, believe you me, just a knockout. Two great talents and a great show, and then they're touring around Australia. End of plugs.
Ah.
Now some coming up that Kerry gets paid for. Okay, we will, what's that, son? No. What do you think of cricket? Bloody awful, Kerry. There are times when it's lovely to be able to say it. I've been sitting here saying, over to Ian Chappell for some reports on the cricket you'll be watching tonight. And then going, it's not really my game. You see, the last game of cricket I played was for the Burke Hall under-11Bs. I played 2 games and they kicked me out. I became timekeeper. But I've never had a great affinity for the sport, so the fact I've copped all this shit over the year because of cricket really, I should have said nerd. Shows a more sophisticated mind. You know, it's really been quite ironical, so... Will I last? Anyway, I might be here after the break, and if I am, we're going to look at gridiron in Australia. Well, gridiron, the American football game, is a sporting extravaganza in the best Hollywood traditions. And one of our guests, our next guest, is determined to make the game as popular as VFL or rugby league in Australia. Would you please welcome from World Series Gridiron, Randall Trudgeon, and 2 American players, Paul Goldman and Eric Price. Give them all a welcome. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Well, I'm glad to see you came dressed for a bit of action, that's for sure, yeah. Australia has so many football rules at the moment. I mean, the one thing we have is we've got league, union, Aussie rules, soccer, almost everything. Do we need gridiron as well?
I think so. It's an attractive alternative, I think, in the summer months when the game will be played. I think it's offers a great deal of excitement for the spectators to get out there, as is witnessed by the American games that have been televised back here in Australia.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about all that razzmatazz that goes with it. Paul and Eric, you're wearing different outfits. You play for different teams?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I play for the Cowboys, and he's for the Thunderbolts. We're a group of Australian and Americans down here. Going to play a few games.
Right.
Tour all over.
Tour all over and the whole thing. Now, it's an entertainment event, as we said there, so let's have a look at some of it in action. I have a feeling Tony Bartuccio must have been freelancing, but look at that. That's incredible. You going to go to that trouble here?
Well, not initially. We'll probably have about 500 people involved in our halftime ceremonies. As the game progresses and obviously gets more popular, it will probably get to that stage.
Who plays the game in the States? There seems to be scholarships and things tied up with it and all that.
Yeah, it starts through, well, we start in junior highs and on through high schools. I don't know, our schooling system is a little different. And we play 3 years high school and then you go into colleges. It levels out through there and then the pros come in. And those are your more elite college players.
Now, Eric, you seem to have an awful lot of protection on there. You got the shoulder pads. I'd imagine there's some we can't see, and
yeah.
Do you need all that protection for the game?
Well, yeah, I'd say you do, because just you get hit like when you're not expecting it. You'll get hit when you're standing there, and you get hit from behind. And
yeah, but our guys caught pretty bad hits, especially in rugby league and that sort of thing. And they don't wear that sort of protective gear.
In rugby league, when you're playing, the only person who can be tackled is the ball carrier. In American football, you can be hit from any time at any angle.
Oh, so anyone can just go up and clobby if they feel like that?
Very much so. As you can see now, you know, without this equipment, you're going to get serious injuries.
Oh, dear, it's like a... Yes, that's grown-up footy, isn't it? Was the padding always worn?
Well, if you go back to about the 1930s, when not as much padding was worn, one of the American presidents threatened to ban it unless the act was cleaned up. In fact, they had quite a number of people killed, and hence all the modern day gladiators, that's what you could call them.
Right.
All the safety equipment is totally essential. In fact, they're trying to improve it at all times.
It's big money, isn't it, Eric?
yeah, the average salary for the professionals is about $150,000 a year.
That seems to be pretty impressive. Have you ever made that sort of money with it?
Not yet.
Not yet, right. It's coming. It's described as a war game, isn't it? I mean, the whole thing, gridiron, I mean, the name itself sort of implies a sort of a chess manoeuvring thing.
Yeah, it's very much a war game of the mind, I think, that you have the coaches up there, they have the players much like chess pieces, and they move them around the field. And it's all tactics and it's skill. The emphasis is not so much on the physical, but on the mental application of the coach's abilities and is extended towards the player's physical abilities.
Can a smaller guy play the game, Paul?
Sure, it's not required to like the 300-pound guys that usually play the line back there. But some of the smaller guys play the backfield. They get beat up a little bit, but that's what these are for. So anybody can really play it. It's not a terrible sport.
It seems to be the sort of game that if you lost the ball, no one would notice.
Well, a lot of guys have a hard time finding it anyway.
So when are you kicking it off this summer in Australia, are you?
Yes, the first game's in Wollongong on the 15th of September, and then we move to Campbelltown, Newcastle, Wagga, and we move through the major regional areas of New South Wales.
Right, well, I'm glad you got your free plug-in too. Okay, well, could you thank Randall Trudgeon, Paul Goldman and Eric Price for giving us a preview of World Series Gridiron. Are you allowed to call it World Series?
Yes.
Are you?
Registered.
Registered name, World Series Gridiron, okay. And we'll take a break, and we're back in a moment with a delightful man, lovely witty man, the world's best-selling author. That's a big statement, it's a big fact. Jeffrey Archer in just a moment. Now, at the age of 29, my next guest was the youngest member of British Parliament. And then 5 years later, a bad investment left him with $1 million worth of debts. And no honourable alternative than to resign from politics. Now, through sheer necessity, nothing else, he discovered a flair for storytelling. And the rest is just the most remarkable history. A string of bestsellers, including Cain and Abel, The Prodigal Daughter, and now his latest, which is this fella, Jeffrey Archer's First Among Equals. And I'd like to give him a big welcome back to the Mike Walsh Show. Jeffrey Archer, ladies and gentlemen. It is lovely to see you again, and just for people who may not have caught you last time you joined us on the show, on the midday show, could you tell people just briefly about that investment? Sorry to dwell on it, but it was a turning point. There you were, a member of Parliament, going places.
I was 29 when I entered the House of Commons and the youngest member of Parliament, and I had 5 years to the age of 34, and I was convinced that it was necessary to be financially secure in order to have a sensible political career. And the little company that I'd run had made about $250,000. And the Bank of Boston, the vice president of the Bank of Boston, advised me to invest this in a share. And I was so stupid and so arrogant and so naive that I took all my money out and put it into one share. But that wasn't enough, Mike. I then borrowed another $250,000, put it with the first $250,000, in the Green that if I doubled it, I'd be a millionaire. When the fraud squad visited me to explain that the vice president of the Bank of Boston was on an airplane on the way to Brazil and I was in debt for £427,727. Now, I mention this in passing, just in case from tomorrow onwards you'll be looking at your overdraft.
Hi to my bank manager. No, fortunately, that's one of the good things, I must say. I haven't bought a yacht in my life. I've just bought businesses, and thank God I've got something to do, which is good. Your passion's always been politics, though, and in many ways it's an absolute tragedy that it ended like that. And this book recounts a great deal of your knowledge, anyway, about politics. So can you just give people a brief idea of what you've done this time with this one? So First Among Equals.
The latest book is a story of 4 men who enter the House of Commons on the same day. One, a working-class boy from the north of England, another, a middle-class boy who fights his way to Oxford, a third who's the son of the Lord Provost of Edinburgh, and the fourth, the second son of an earl. All 4 of them arrive in the House of Commons on the same day as young men. All you know is that all 4 of them want to be Prime Minister. And by the last page, only one of them ends up living in number 10 Downing Street.
And there was a bit of a twist there, wasn't it? You got a different one ending up in number 10 Downing Street in America from what you have in the British and Australian edition.
Yes, they didn't like the English edition. You've got the best edition here in Australia.
But isn't that funny? I mean, you apparently when you started to write the book, you didn't know who was going to get there either, did you?
No, I never know what's on the next page. I never know what's in the next chapter. And when people say I had no idea which one of them would become Prime Minister, I always say, no, neither did I.
Isn't the human brain the most remarkable thing? I mean, really, there's all that going on in your brain and in your subconscious, and you don't know it. And all of a sudden it pops out, and as you say, you type the next page, and there's someone's career has advanced, and one of the other characters had the flick.
Has disappeared.
Yeah, yeah. You did tell me when you were 7 you set your heart on going into politics, and you wanted to go to the top.
Well, at the age of 7, I wanted to be 8, actually. But at the age of 8, I wanted to be a Prime Minister. But my father thought it might be wise to have some form of education in between. So
I don't know why.
he sent me off to Oxford. And at Oxford, I couldn't make up my mind whether I wanted to be an actor, or whether I wanted to be a politician, or whether I wanted to be a sportsman. And in the end, I decided that politics was what I wanted to do full time. And the president of the Oxford Dramatic Society at the university said, you should give up this politics, Geoffrey. Get rid of it. What I want you to do is the final production at the Oxford University year. The critics will come down from London, they will see you, and we'll turn you into a superstar. No, I said, no. I'm going to be a Prime Minister. No, they said, give it up. He said, give it up. I will make you a superstar, I promise. I said, no, I'm going to be a Prime Minister. Give it up, he said, give it up. And I said, no. And he gave the part to my understudy, Michael York.
Yeah, but for the grace. Go both of you. Yes, Michael, as Prime Minister, as you as the famous actor. Margaret Thatcher's interesting from your observations of her because she never really wanted to be Prime Minister. I find that quite a surprise that you have mentioned that because, I mean, here is a woman who really looks like she was born to lead and she always believed in her own destiny.
No, I remember when I was in the House of Commons and she was Secretary of State for Education, she told me, as she told lots of people, that her ambition was to be the first woman Chancellor of the Exchequer, Minister of Finance. And indeed, I believe that's what she wanted. But you see, when Edward Heath lost 2 elections in a row, we had no process in our party for removing the leader. And so we suddenly decided the leader must stand. And if anyone would stand against him, we could see if we still wanted to keep him as leader. We then had another funny rule, was that if anyone beat him, there would be a second round when everyone else could join in. Now, Margaret Thatcher was the only one who had the guts to actually put her name forward and fight Edward Heath. And she beat him only by 12 votes, so he fell out. And when she stood, everybody said, well, of course, the men will join in now, and she will be beaten. But what happened in the next 2 weeks is people said she was the one who had the guts to stand up in the first place. She was the one who was willing to nail her colours to the mast and risk her entire career. And the Commons changed and said, therefore, she is the one we'll make Prime Minister. And it was because of that courage in standing against him that she won, a courage I think she's shown in her total administration.
This is a totally peripheral question to that one, but Princess Diana is a fan of yours.
It's always flattering to hear that she reads the books and gives them to everyone. In fact,
I thought she might have been a bit more Mills and Boon.
Oh.
I really did.
I was in America once, Mike, and I was doing a show, and someone got up in the audience and said, have you ever met Princess Di? So I said, no, I have not met Her Royal Highness. And she said, oh, all right then, have you met the Queen? So I said, yes, I have met Her Majesty. And the person in the audience said, did she discuss coup Stark with you? So I said, quite honestly, no, she didn't. I can remember the 3 occasions that I've met Her Majesty vividly. And indeed, on the first occasion, Her Majesty said, good morning, Mr. Archer. And I said, good morning, Your Majesty. On the second occasion, Her Majesty said, good afternoon, Mr. Archer. I said, good afternoon, Your Majesty. And on the third occasion, she said, good evening, Mr. Archer. And I said, good evening, Your Majesty. And I can assure you on none of the occasions did she ask for my opinion on coup Stark.
She obviously got very close, though. You could see she was heading in that direction. The things she was saying to you, to me, imply any moment now she was going to whip in a quickie about coup Stark. Jeffrey, I've got to ask you, though, with Di, she is a big fan. How do you know this?
Only because she, during an interview, said that when she was getting on a plane, that she wanted more than anything the latest Jeffrey Archer book, which, of course, all the press, when they hear something like that, print it. I didn't know about it at all. It all
No,
came
but you
out in
wouldn't
the
be
press.
too worried about
I
it,
was
would you?
very flattered.
Yeah. It's interesting in the book you have Charles on the throne in 1991.
Yes, I wonder what Her Majesty the Queen will do about this. He's nearly 40 years old now, and we see with the Queen Mother, 85, a couple of days ago, and every reason to believe, indeed I hope she will, that she'll live to 100. And why shouldn't the Queen live to 100?
Yep.
Which would mean that Prince Charles would not take the throne until he was nearly 70. And I wonder if we will have a situation in our country where we'll actually have an abdication in order to allow him to have a job before he officially retires.
I feel sorry for the poor guy. He's really trapped, isn't he?
It's not easy for him because...
And the present Queen's such a popular figure anyway.
Indeed,
but,
and a very great Queen.
Marvellous woman. You're writing speeches and things now, so what about a return to politics? Is that possible, or is that blotting your escutcheon from way back there?
Oh, no, I
to
think...
follow you forever?
Because I didn't go bankrupt and because I paid off the debts, I can actually return to the House of Commons whenever I want to. I think possibly it's unwise to tread over the same land twice. I think once you've done something, if it's come to an end, you should look for new fields and new outlets.
Yes.
And I commend that to you as well. I commend you treat tonight as a watershed, because when I left the House of Commons, Mike, I thought the end of the world had come. I'd lost my job, I was in a terrible financial position, and I really thought the end of the world had come. And in many ways, it's not a bad thing to be thrown out of a job, because it makes you rethink the future. It makes you stand up, and often you may find you have a second talent you don't even know about. Proust said that we all end up doing the thing we're second best at. And it's possible that many of us, if we were made to reconsider in our life because we were forced to do some other avenue, we might find something we're just as talented at. If I had remained in the House of Commons, I would never have written one word. 10 years today, you might be my biggest rival on the voting front.
No, it is funny. I mean, I don't want to sort of go off on a personal tangent there, but I never intended to be a performer. And then I found I was rather good at acting. And then someone said, why don't you go into radio? And I said, oh, yeah, sure. And I did. And fortunately, television came along, and I've had a wonderful time in it. But it was never my original thing. And I think you're quite right there. You do find things. And the last few weeks have been a bit of a soul search about the whole thing, and I feel quite confident.
And you should
Things start tomorrow.
You should have every reason
Things start to. Thanks.
Quite right.
Well, I just want to ask you on this, because, again, I've been through it a few times where you've had the flick and that sort of thing from a show, and you do find out who your friends are.
Oh, yes.
And you find out, and it's quite overwhelming, the amount of genuine love a lot of people do have for you because they've known you for a long time. But you find some awfully fickle sods amongst the world, too. So what's your feeling about fame? How do you deal with it, having also had that kick at one stage where you were a politician, someone to be grovelled to, someone to be looked up to, someone to try and get a favour out of and that sort of thing? Suddenly nothing. Suddenly you now have fame again on a far bigger scale than ever before. What's it mean to you?
Well, at the first level you mentioned, I got shocks on both sides. If I'd had to write down the list of people who would stand by me and the list of people who would have run away when I suddenly disappeared from the centre of the stage, I would have found there were many on the list I thought would stay, ran away, and to my surprise, Mike, many I put down who would run away stayed and were intensely loyal. Fame a second time has been a very strange thing, because of course some of them have tried to make a comeback, and you treat them for what they're worth.
Use them if you have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Quite right.
No, exactly what they're about, and just use them.
Absolutely.
Yes, I've had a few of those joys.
Quite right, mate. And I was going down Bond Street the other day, and a lady rushed across the road, and this was, I thought, really of the arrival of fame. A lady rushed across the road, threw her arms around me and said, "It used to be Barry Manilow, but now it's you." was when I'd done This Is Your Life, because you know This Is Your Life is a very big program in Britain, almost as big as yours in this country, almost as many stations, almost as popular. And I'd done the show, and I was...
Oh, if only we're doing a show next week, this would make an excellent promo. I'll give it to Ray Martin, we'll just change the name.
And I was doing This Is Your Life, and I was on a tremendous high the next day, because people were waving in the streets, people saw who you were. And I went to play my normal game of squash, because I play squash 4 times a week. And I got to the box, and the lady said, I saw you on the television last night. You were wonderful. And of course, I've read the Cain and Abel, and I think what you've achieved is absolutely amazing, and I think it's wonderful what you've done. And I said, well, it's terribly, terribly kind. I wonder if I could book a court between 8 o'clock and 9. She said, of course you can, my dear. What's your name?
Fame. Fame. Fame says it all. Just one final thing, Geoffrey. The interesting thing, no blood, sex, violence, and all that in your books. Your books don't have that. They have a hell of a good story. They treat people as being intelligent enough to be able to think it through. And you are the best-selling author in the world.
I think it's
there must be a lesson in that somewhere.
I think it's one of the great myths that the modern audience requires: sex, violence, and bad language. Yeah. I have long believed, if we, as we say in Somerset in the West Country of England, give 'em a good yarn, my dear, tell 'em a good tale, and they won't put it down. The great writers of the past didn't need that, and they don't need it today. It's one of the great myths. Most people out there in the world actually would prefer a decent book and a well-told story, and that's what I intend to go on doing.
Well done, well done. This is I think a lot of people really patronise people, and I hate it when I see it. They sort of think, oh, that's all they'd understand anyway.
Yes, well, that's just stupid.
It is stupid.
It is stupid.
So you're the excellent proof of the whole thing.
And insulting to the audience, too.
It is. Geoffrey, it's lovely to catch up with you again, and have a great time in Australia.
I intend to see you in 10 years' time, sir, when you will be at the top of another profession, when no doubt you will have removed the stupid board that has dared to remove you.
I can't answer that, but I'll talk to my lawyer and see if I can later. Would you thank Geoffrey for being with us? Geoffrey Archer. Thanks, Geoffrey. We take a break. More to come. Hope you're enjoying tonight. The legendary Woody Herman and his All-Stars perform for you in a moment.
They were rocking. They were rolling. Glory! Daryl drummed, Chested, and sang.
We call this entertainment.
Everyone's excited.
Oh, it's just super big.
Anything can happen.
See ya. Yeah, anything.
In Hey Hey It's Saturday. 6:30 Saturday.
Definitely.
Live on 9.
No.
All he said was g'day.
So much. It's amazing. So much power in this hand. I went to it again, but I just went, fellas, g'day. And I went, oh, Jeff, no wonder you like being a conductor. The sense of power is amazing. Well, now, I've got some watches to show you and some clocks in case you've been looking for something really important and essential in your life. And this first one is an alarm clock, believe it or not, that you don't have to feed. Now, look at this. Incredible workmanship. Just press the button and it goes on. And on. How do you stop it? It did. You threatened it.
I'm sorry.
You threatened its life. You can get the one for $1,950. I was selling a few of my old things. This is a kinetic clock. Now, they did tell me how to work it. It has little folks inside of it. Look at the little people, aren't they cute? Look at them. Yes. And you press the button on the kinetic clock, and they go round and round. and go absolutely nowhere. They should sell very well in Parliament. Look at them all just going nowhere and going round and round in little circles. And over here we have, well, it's amazing. Oh, that one, yeah, absolute bargain. That's $700. So I'll take orders after the show. Here we are. What about this one? No idea why it does it, but it does it. And it untangles itself and goes over there and tangles itself up. Mind you, it's more interesting than watching wallpaper, but not much. I think I might buy that as a present for Madame Lash. So, no, I shouldn't say that, she'll sue. Oh. There'll be so many of them suing, who cares? All right, we'd like to thank Strand Watches and Clocks who have these if you'd like to get hold of them anyway. They're quite remarkable. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the tour starts on Friday in Brisbane, then Tweed Heads, Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Canberra, Newcastle and Sydney. Ladies and gentlemen, the Woody Herman All-Stars.
Cohen on tenor, Mr. Music. Trumpet player. One of my very favorite pianists. There he is. This young man comes all the way from Toronto, Canada. This is Mr. Steve Walsh. The great Jake Hanna.
Well, that's it, folks. That's the end of the show and the end of a lot of things, in fact. As I said, I'll have a continuing involvement with Channel 9 through the midday show, and I'd say, you know, obviously I'm not happy with this decision, but they've made it, and they're tough boys in a tough world, and I respect the way they handled today, especially, and I thank them for that. They gave me the chance to go out with some dignity. There's no dignity in getting the flick, let's face it, but at least they let me announce it for myself instead of reading "Darling, the Blue Rinse set bombs at night" or some garbage like that in the Daily Mirror, which will probably have in tomorrow. But as I said before, we have had success with the show, and I don't care what anyone says about it. I'm extremely proud of it, and I'm a very commercial man. I usually like things that work, and I think this one has. And I'd like to say thank you to Nine for the good times we've had together, and I hope we have some more in the future too. And to all our friends in the industry, and it's been a tough year, and it's a very tough time economically. I think Mr. Fraser made the point there earlier. We've all got to get together to get this country going again, and long live private enterprise and people who are game to get out there and have a go, even if it doesn't always work, because that's the name of the game. And anyone young watching tonight, take a risk, do it. When you're old, you can at least just say you had a go. There's nothing worse than sitting there saying, if only I'd done that. Well, this is not one of my if onlys. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've been very proud of the people I work with. I hope a lot of people have learnt things working with me, and thank you to all the gang here. You'll see the names on the credits at the end of the show. I'll say, God bless to you all. Thanks for your company, thanks for your support, and thanks for your friendship. And I'll say, as I always say at the end of the show, although I haven't got a definite date for the next gig, see you next time round. Bye.
In Sydney, our guests choose to stay at the Seaville Townhouse. This has been a Hayden television production in association with the National 9 Network. John Brennan speaking.